Huh. Well, shit. Picture this, you're living in the feudal ages, and your lord has promised you a land full of bountiful resources. You make the long and laborious trek to finally get to this land, and when you get there, there are these little disgusting savages that have the gall to call themselves people, claiming that it's their land and that I have no right to be there. So you know what? I think some evictions are in order. Diplomacy is not an option as a game that satiates both my desire to rapidly expand, ignoring all environmental consequences, and my desire to evict all of those around me who were here first. Because this land belongs to me. Today we'll be going through this game for the very first time, and you'll get to see me flounder around like a Gmod ragdoll and attempt to defend my land from the interlopers. So without further ado, let's get started. Starting us off, I gave myself a very real and serious name. About right now, I'd imagine you're probably wondering, what the hell is this game? Well, Diplomacy is not an option as a hybrid RTS city builder game in which you have this castle in the center of your territory, and you have to defend it from waves of these savage, angry little men trying to steal all of your butter. Now, why is it that they want our butter? I don't really know. But what I do know is that we need to kill them. A lot of them. So onwards into the first game. Now when I say first game, I do literally mean first game, because coming off the tutorial, this was my first time ever actually playing this game. I started off by building some builders' huts and some lumber mills, thinking to myself, how hard could this game possibly be?
The city is under attack.
Very. Getting my troops together, I familiarized myself with the controls and got out there and began evicting the nearby savages to claim more land for the kingdom. I also started to build some houses for the unfortunate people that have to live here, because I knew that without them we would not grow any population, and without any population we wouldn't be able to expand. Now, after a lot of expansion and harassing the natives, it was day 4, and the first attack wave was imminent. I began building some defensive walls to counter this first wave of attack, as you're able to see where the attack wave is coming from the day before it happens. Now listen, okay, I'll give them this. They might be savage, but they definitely aren't stupid, because they kind of just walked right around my wall. Although that could be attributed to just me being stupid. But either way, that's of no consequence now, because the first attack wave was here. Now this first little attack wave was the primer for my brain to be like, okay, this game is not going to be easy. So I tried to kick it into high gear, but once again, this was my first time playing the game. I started to rebuild all of the houses that had been lost during the attack wave, and build some more so that we could get more people of the kingdom. Now I wasn't aware of this at the time, but I should have just been building a lot of houses from the beginning and not building 57 fish huts. But either way, we continued our expansion further and began to prepare for the next attack wave. On day 6, I discovered something rather alarming. This hulking mass of savage disgustingness in very close proximity to my kingdom. This shot off some red flags. Upon seeing this meatball of a savage, I realized something. We can't defend this kingdom with basic troops. The savages not only have numbers on their side, but now they also have raw physical strength. The only possible way for us to bridge this gap is through the development of technology. Though we couldn't really worry about that now because the next attack wave was already on its way. Now, we did actually manage to repel this attack, but we lost approximately 50% of our buildings and most of our defensive walls. You may have also noticed during the attack the savages brought this, a catapult. That's right. There's currently 3 fronts for this war: numbers, physical strength, and technology. And we're currently losing in all 3. I'd like to tell you there was a silver lining to all of this, but there really wasn't. I'm just bad. So here's what's going to happen. The savages are just as badly beaten down as we are after all of the losses they've taken, because I said so. So that means they have just enough strength to mount one more big attack. Day 16. For win or for lose, this is our final challenge. I began training more troops and rebuilding the industry we had lost because we don't have much stone production, so catapults just aren't going to happen in time. I started training more archers, I built a hospital, and I started to put down preemptive defenses on anywhere that we already had choked off with walls, just in case they decide to come from that way. We also still have the Day 13 attack to worry about, so more defenses is never a bad thing. When the clock rolled over from Day 11 to 12, we got to see the attack vector of the savages. And lucky for us, it was coming at a point where we have no defenses whatsoever. Making this even worse, the side they were planning to attack from was also the side that I had my barracks on, completely undefended. If things go poorly here, there's no chance we're ever beating the Day 16 attack. But we couldn't worry about that now. All we could worry about at this point was building walls and defenses to slow down this attack, and hopefully we could repel it. It was time. They were here. Now, I'd like to tell you that the only reason we won this battle is because of my tactical genius. But if I am being 100% truthful, this battle probably could have went a lot better if I was actually a tactical genius. If you take notice of the enemy savages right now, you'll see that they're currently balled up in a giant mass of peasant, beating down my towers and barracks. Now there is a mechanic I've neglected this entire game simply because I forgot about it, and that mechanic would be the powers. As you can see here, my neurons have finally started to fire off to tell me that this is a winnable fight, if I just place down as many Death Knights as I possibly can, balling the enemy up and stopping them from moving. This tactic surprisingly actually worked, helping us to clear the wave with not much damage taken to the kingdom other than the barracks and the walls. Now, you might be thinking, hey, things have been pretty rough, but after that, we might actually be able to close this one out with a win. And to that I say, no. No, we will not. Now, I'm just going to be frank with you. We've barely been scraping by these attacks. 2 attacks, coming from 2 different directions. There's about a 6% chance that we live to see another day. It's probably over. However, I'll be damned if I don't go down without a fight. So that's it then. This is it. Let's make sure that if those savages are going to roll over us, at least they take a lot of losses.